Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to call the March 19th meeting of the Common Council to order. I will ask the clerk to take a roll call.
Alderperson Vitale.
Here.
Grisham. Here. Haas.
Here.
Keen. Here. Lysick.
Here.
Franke. Here. Rote.
Here.
Stefanski.
Here.
Turner.
Here.
9 present.
Quorum is present. Please rise if you are able and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led this evening by Alderman Vitale. Thank you. We will move on to item D, which is our public hearings this evening. And I will ask the clerk to read out our public hearing.
Ordinance to adopt the City of West Allis 2045 Comprehensive Plan.
Turn it over to staff.
Thanks, Mayor. Hi, everybody. My name is Steve Scher. I'm the Manager of Planning and Zoning. And with me tonight is Jack Kovneski, one of our planners. So thanks for the opportunity to present this tonight. It's been a year's work leading up to tonight, and just a little bit about comprehensive planning in the state of Wisconsin. State Statute Chapter 66 requires local governments to enact a comprehensive plan. The plan is a future guide to the physical and social economic development of a city. In West Allis, we look at a 20-year vision, and it's been a very successful and useful tool over the past decades for redevelopment efforts throughout the city. We've seen a lot of great progress, a lot of good redevelopment take place here in our city as a result of planning and council support of planning. So it does require a public participation element. We've adopted last year a public participation plan, and there have been subsequent engagement efforts over the past year, which we'll get into as part of this presentation. So we're updating the plan every 10 years, sometimes a little bit less. Over the past couple decades, in 2011, we adopted the 2030 plan. In 2021, we adopted the 2040 comprehensive plan, and we're doing that 21 plan, or the 2040 plan, was a minor update. There were some demographic items and some other redevelopment areas that we wanted to further address. So we're bringing back the 2045 plan as an opportunity to sort of refresh, regroup, and focus on the next 20 years to the year 2045. So in terms of engagement, over the past year, last April, we started an engagement effort to kick off issues and opportunities, what people wanted to see in their city. What do you want your city to be like over the next 20 years was a question, and what do you like, what do you dislike, ideas for the future. And received over 1,200 points of contact. With the feedback that we received, we developed a draft plan. We'll get into that executive summary this evening as part of this public hearing. The engagement period, there are a couple different engagement periods, and then Plan Commission at last month's meeting approved the comprehensive plan. Now their approval comes before the Common Council, and we are required to conduct a public hearing before Council this evening. The plan structure consists of 10 different elements listed on 1 through 10, but more or less an overall executive summary and a profile of the city in terms of demographics and land use, economic development, also redevelopment of the city. We use that as a redevelopment plan and forward-looking opportunity to take a look at bolstering jobs, the economy, transportation, our housing, parks, natural resources, intergovernmental cooperation, and then finally ending with an implementation section. Each section within the code or within the plan begins with a goal, and then sort of a little summary of what we've heard, and then finally ends with a list of recommendations. And all of those recommendations are captured again towards in the implementation section at the very end of the plan. So the big ideas that we heard from feedback and in working with different departments and speaking with council and citizens of West Allis are that they want West Allis to grow over the next 20 years. In terms of population, in terms of the economy, we want to increase the population from roughly about 60,000 to 70,000, and also increase the economy, add 5,000 new jobs, and make streets safer for walking and biking. That was a big concern throughout the city, is just slowing traffic down, curbing reckless driving as best possible, making roads places for people to not only drive through, but also multi-modes of transportation for all ages and abilities. And then housing was also a big portion of what we heard. Housing, making it affordable for all income levels and different varieties and types of housing throughout the city. Investing in parks and green space, and then also a vibrant space for community life. Places to go, around the farmers market perhaps, and then also other activities to do in that area for a little bit more sticky environment to keep you there a little longer and enjoy yourself, spend more money, and bolster the economy and so on. So, but the big 3 points were to grow West Allis population to 70,000 residents by 2045, add 5,000 new housing units by 2045 for all incomes, and then adding 2,000 jobs. In terms of demographics, our population has remained stable over the past 10 years, roughly about 60,325 people. It's actually a slight uptick, about just a little over a percentage point over that 10 years. And then in terms of race and ethnicity, one of our biggest strengths is the diversity of our city and the demographics. Some of the points here is that West Allis is predominantly white. However, we're becoming more diverse. The Latino population is roughly doubled in that time. And then also the number of residents identifying with 2 or more races more than tripled. So and you can see the sort of distribution on the lower part there, but we are becoming more diverse, and we should look at that as a strength, as it will enhance our economy and our housing as well as the environment that we live in. And it's definitely a positive for the future. In terms of housing stock, the overall number of housing units on the graph on the lower left, you can see is primarily single family or single dwelling units housing, owner occupied, and then the number of 2 units falls off, and then multifamily, the 3 to 4 unit category, right around 2,000, and then five or more units around 65 or 7,000 units. But there is definitely an opportunity with our housing stock in terms of we do have an older housing stock. It's also something that we want to take a look at through our housing rehab programs, offering additional incentives to get a housing rehab loan, offer down payment incentives for new home buyers, as well as making it more affordable as best possible for different income levels. These are just sort of a real broad overview of the recommendations within our plan. They're further detailed in that implementation chapter later on, but I just want to go over these fairly quick in terms of the different elements of the comp plan. In terms of land use, one of the big things that we want to reduce the amount of underutilized land, and that's something that West Allis has done quite well with the support of the Council and Plan Commission over the years, is taking a look at those otherwise liabilities and turning them into opportunities for future growth and developing our tax base and our economy throughout the city. Economic development, facilitating, again, redevelopment, offering everything from tax incremental financing, commercial facade grants to rehab older properties, retain business, as well as grow and attract new businesses to the city. In terms of transportation, safety was a big thing that we heard, prioritizing safety, slowing speeds down throughout the city, taking a look at our streets, and instead of reconstructing, when it comes to time to reconstruct, instead of doing it the same way we've always done it, consider some other options, again, maybe traffic calming, reducing crosswalk distances to enhance the safety aspect, while still allowing multi-modes of transportation to come through our city. Streets are also an opportunity to create more desirable places within our city, turning them into, like downtown West Allis, for instance. I mean, that becomes, during a la carte, that becomes a street festival in downtown West Allis. But taking a look at those opportunities throughout our city for opportunities to enhance events and economic development in our public spaces right away. Housing, increasing the supply of housing, expanding the housing options as well, making it affordable for all incomes, and then also improving the quality of the housing stock. Given our older age of some homes, some of that housing needs to be modernized a bit, and so on. So keeping that in mind is key to our housing element. Parks and open space. Parks are one of the most beloved amenities we have in our city. Improving the quality of our parks, maintaining them to meet the needs of the community, taking a look at new trends and what's developing, whether it's frisbee golf or pickleball, and making sure that we have a comprehensive recreational outdoor plan for the city moving forward. And then in terms of utilities and community facilities, finding the efficiencies within our facilities while updating improved service delivery. And then finally, maintaining intergovernmental cooperation and communication across the different governmental jurisdictions with the school district, the state, and county, for instance. I'm going to turn it over to Jack right now. He's going to talk about some visioning.
So one of the big questions of our recommendations and plan that we have drafted so far is how we got there. It was in large part shaped directly by the community. Staff was at multiple events throughout the summer, spring, and fall of 2023. We're at 17 community events in total, and we had multiple online surveys that helped us conduct our visioning with the public. Some strengths and weaknesses rated by survey respondents online were that we have a really great library, farmers market, and available dining options. And then some of the weaknesses were that traffic safety and the schools might be subpar for based on perception or how they are currently. And then there are some other things that helped us shape the plan as well. For one of these surveys, we asked, what is your ideal community? These are a collection of trigger words that most appeared in our surveys. West Allis residents highly value a safe, friendly, clean, walkable community that's diverse and inclusive and welcoming. Additionally, in 20 years, West Allis residents identified the city to be better schools, whether this is just a trigger word, so it could mean they appreciate the schools already or they want to see better schools. Businesses, whether that's small business support, more businesses to shop at and spend money at, and then overall, community appears again. Throughout these engagement processes, we've identified some catalytic projects that we've identified as kind of a priority to move the city forward. Some of these show different pictures of the possibilities that we can work and collaborate with staff and other departments within the city on. One of the big ones is Transform State Highway 59. Right out here is Greenfield, part of that State Highway 59. This is transforming it into a multimodal thoroughfare that still acknowledges the efficient flow of traffic for trucking. And then West Allis has a strong network of trails already with the Hank Aaron and the Crosstown Connector, but we want to expand those and look at where we can find more conversions for those amenities. Revitalizing Burnham Point as a mixed-use district, adding 2 neighborhood parks. This has to be a strategic look at where parks should be within the city, while also acknowledging that we have to contribute taxable value to the city as well. Reimagining 84th and National as a destination hub in the center of the community. This is a broad vision for what this area could be in the future. Currently, there are some incompatible uses directly next to residential that we envision could be better or more improved upon. Another one is rebuilding Lincoln Avenue as a complete street. Lincoln Avenue is one of our high traffic corridors that is also one of our highest rates of crashes. So we want to make this safer for all users. Build 20 miles of protected bike lanes. This is in conjunction with our engineering team. Protected bike lanes provide safer routes for people biking and less collisions between motorists and bicyclists. Continuing to redevelop Highway 100, providing a mix of more uses, better shopping destinations, and overall making it more of a destination and a distinct look to it as well. Building an interconnected network of neighborhood greenways. This involves building neighborhood greenways. They're slower streets that provide the ability to safely bike, walk your dog. It's overall a better area for connection for pedestrians and bicyclists within the city. And then establishing the Foundry District as West Dallas' densest mixed-use urban center. This is currently the land formerly that was occupied by Alice Chalmers. We envision this to be a collection of different uses that support industrial, commercial, and residential. And then we're going to go into the future land use. The future land use is an integral part of the comprehensive plan. This plan dictates, helps dictate what land uses should occur on a strategic basis throughout the next 20 years. The existing land use map shows largely our city is dominated by medium and low density residential with scatterings of commercial, industrial, commercial mixed buildings, and other uses such as parks as well. The future land use map shows minor changes to this. I'll go back and forth just so we get a better perspective. So largely the future land use plan shows some changes. Largely it retains what is existing and better matches our existing zoning code. The biggest change you'll see on here is the commercial mixed use. This is to support commercial mixed uses. You'll see it along, a best example of what a commercial mixed use is along Beecher Street by 70th and Beecher. That was used as one of the images previously on the bottom right there. These are existing uses that may be mixed in with residential, but overall, majority of the uses remain the same, and we strategically are looking at different uses and what we can better activate in those parts of the community. This is when, in conjunction with our economic development team, we focused on multiple redevelopment areas that we've identified as areas that are primed for catalytic redevelopment and enhancing the overall site or area. We have 10 redevelopment areas shown. They're shown in orange on this map, and then within that we also have redevelopment sites that we've included. This is an example of one of the redevelopment areas. Area 1 is the Foundry District, as previously mentioned. Looking at this, we see different uses, such as this is an area that's been identified as having a lack of parks. We have an apartment complex. Well, this is way out, but many different types of housing could be supported on this parcel. But we have that combined with a community park, dog park, and this allows better access to green space while still maintaining proper development. Burnham Point shows different uses as well, enhanced streetscape, leveraging the city to encourage private investment for redevelopment, and overall making it a space better primed for people, making sure they spend their money, live a happy life there, and capitalize on the existing strengths of the neighborhood. Historic downtown, we see different uses involved in that. There's an ample amount of parking within downtown, and we want to support that and make sure the businesses have plenty of parking to accommodate for customers, employees. But we also want to focus on, as mentioned earlier, rebuilding the State Highway 59, which is scheduled to be rebuilt within the next decade as a street that prioritizes every user. Additionally, we want to make sure that working with the Business Improvement District, that the city's downtown remains strong and a place people continue to want to be. We've had this plan, the redevelopment plan for the Milwaukee Mile. This plan has been over the past, I believe, it's been over a decade now that we've envisioned different uses for this site. This plan doesn't dictate what exactly is going to happen in that. Rather, if there were any pullout from the Milwaukee Mile, we have a plan of action to continue that and redevelop it in the highest possible way. 84th and National, as you can see, if you pass it recently, there's already construction going on 85th and National of the three-leaf apartment buildings, but we want to continue the redevelopment in this area. As I mentioned earlier, there's some incompatible uses, large industrial next to some residential uses that we could envision to see more compatible uses that support housing, retail, and more. 92nd and Greenfield, we see this area supporting housing as well, and then also just redeveloping the existing St. Aloysius site as multifamily housing and supporting the existing businesses along that corridor as well. 84th and Cleveland is area number 7, which shows becoming more of a destination. We've already had some redevelopment proposals going along there, and we want to continue that strength. And then these areas 8, 9, and 10 are all focused on Highway 100. It's a very large corridor, but we want to continue to make this into a space that brings people from the region to, and we want to make sure this is done in a way that is not the same as Anytown, USA. We want to make sure that it's a place that is recognizable and at the same time attracts a mix of uses. So one of the biggest mentions during our public engagement was West Allis's green space and parks. Our overall goal is to enhance the well-being of people, living things, and the natural environment. And one of our biggest challenges is that West Allis does not have enough green space or recreational opportunities. We've done a park access analysis, and shown in the red on this map are areas not within a 10-minute walk to a park. And then the overall areas that are shown in the cream color are areas that are within a 10-minute walk to a park. Overall, we do have a strong percentage of residents who are within a 10-minute walk, but there's a remaining 8 in some concentrated areas that are not within a 10-minute walk, and we want to strategically envision new parks and recreational amenities in these areas. Steve is going to finish it off. Thank you.
So the implementation chapter, concludes the comp plan, and it has more fine-tuned recommendations than the ones I highlighted in summary earlier on. But the important thing to remember about a comprehensive plan is that you can change it. I mean, what we're asking council to do this evening is approve the plan. However, this just shouldn't go on a shelf and collect dust. It should be something that we routinely look at for us on a daily basis, with our planning commission on a monthly basis, with council as things are developing and ideas are flowing. But we want to track the progress of this as year after year and provide an annual report to council as well. And if, some things aren't exactly to suit the current environment, the council can always modify the plan. So it's a very fluid and workable living document that can change and should change with time. So with that, I'm happy to go into more detail on any of these recommendations, but I just thought that we would conclude with this slide here and just indicate that we are recommending approval tonight, the council. We've gone through a public participation plan as a requirement of the state statute. We did that back in 23. There's been a number of ongoing engagements, as Jack had mentioned, throughout last year and then early on this year. We've conducted the publication within the official paper. There's an online version of this on our city website, as well as copies that have been distributed here at City Hall, as well as the city library. So thank you for your time.
Thank you for the presentation. Are there any questions from the members of the Common Council on our public hearing? All right, seeing none, are there any questions from the members of the audience on the public hearing? All right, seeing none, we will close our public hearing, and we will move on to Section E on our agenda, which is public participation. This is where the council may receive information from members of the public during this 30-minute period. Each speaker must announce their name and address, sign in at the podium, and limit their comments to one statement of no more than 5 minutes. The council cannot take action on topics raised by the speakers and will not discuss the topics with the speakers. Does anybody wish to address the council under public participation this evening? I'm sorry, Tasha, can you push the button? The little green light should come on. There you go.
Sorry. So I emailed you all this morning, so you've already heard some of this, but I figured if I came tonight, then you couldn't just delete the email. You also had to listen to me for 5 minutes. So 2 weeks ago, you all voted to approve Resolution 2024-0099, which is regarding the Neighborhood Association grants. And I just wanted to come and express my disappointment about the process that led up to the creation of that resolution and what the resolution includes. So 10 years ago, on April 15th, 2014, the Council approved Resolution 2014-0099, which started the Neighborhood Association Grant Program. Since then, multiple associations have used the Focus Grant. It was used for signs in Juneau Highlands. Rainbow Gardens used it for signs and an art project at their pavilion. Rose Hill used it for meetings and organization and for signs. Orchard Hills used it for signs. And then East Ellis has applied for it for 4 years. So they used it for signs, for a butterfly garden, for neighborhood cleanups, a drum circle, a Christmas parade float, and fundraising. I was personally part of the Liberty Heights Focus Grant process the last 2 years. We used the money for block parties, for the Liberty Heights Park ice rink warming house. We used it for items for events like yard games, a tent, table, and a fire pit, incorporation fees to become a nonprofit, and other things. At the end of 2023, the 3 currently active neighborhood associations, which are Conrad Gardens, East Ellis, and Liberty Heights, started a conversation about changes we wanted to see in the Focus Grant program. Some of the highlights were removing the matching requirement, which had previously been 25%. We wanted a payment of the total grant amount up front instead of a reimbursement process. We wanted additional reporting to go along with that change, and then we wanted to expand what the grant money could be spent on. Our suggestions seemed to be met with a favorable response. We were told that it seemed like they would go through. Apparently, these changes were discussed with the Office of Planning and Zoning, the Mayor's Office, the Administrator's Office, all of the older persons, the City Attorney's Office, the Finance Department in January. And then that feedback was taken and compiled into the resolution that you voted on 2 weeks ago. When I read the resolution after the meeting, I was very disappointed. Of the changes that we had suggested, only 2 of them were adopted. The matching portion, or the matching requirement, was removed, so that was the one positive change. They also required the addition of monthly and annual reporting. When we had suggested the annual reporting, that was to go along with the change in how the money was paid out, not just to create more paperwork for people who are already volunteering. My main concern, however, is that instead of expanding what the grant money could be spent on, this resolution actually drastically limits what we can spend the money on. Prior grant wording from previous years included things like organizing and building a healthy community, attracting new and diverse members, promoting and sustaining citizen engagement, community building activities, and creating or operating special programs or activities that make West Allis unique, better, and beautiful. All of that wording was removed from the new resolution. The new resolution says the grant is for a transformation project that will enhance the neighborhood, promote and beautify the area. I'm not sure if the wording was changed on purpose or what happened, but from communication since then with the Community Development Senior Planner, it seems like it was on purpose. She has said that the Focus Grant can now only be used towards long-term, sustainable, tangible projects. So things like metal street signs, pollinator gardens, and little free libraries. She said it cannot be used for activities in our neighborhoods. As I shared, several neighborhood associations have used these funds for community building activities over the last 10 years. And I think we were all hoping to be able to use these funds for that going forward. Having to look for funding from other sources and do even more fundraising is putting a strain on volunteers who would rather just be doing fun things in their neighborhoods. Yeah, so I'm hoping that this was a mistake and maybe there was some misunderstandings, but I haven't heard back in my emails to anyone, so I came here to just let you know that this is a concern and that as a president of a neighborhood association, I'm very discouraged and kind of wanting to give up. This was our main source of funding, and fundraising is exhausting. And So the thought of having to be looking for funds elsewhere to run, like, we don't want tens of thousands of dollars. Like, the 2,000 was really good. Like, that was a good amount to do programs in our neighborhood. And now that now that it's been changed and we can't actually use that money for what we wanted to, we're not really sure what we're going to do with the plans we had for this year. Thank you.
Good timing. Does anybody else wish to address the council under public participation this evening?
Hello, Mayor and Common Council members. My name is Quentin
Murphy.
Murphy,
1520 South.
1520 South 76th Street. As I was watching Steve present this evening and talking about the health of the community, I've lived here for a number of years, about 16 years.
6 years.
Excuse me, 6 years, thank you. These meetings have not been accessible in my time that I've lived here. There are multiple members of the community who are deaf. There's people that attend schools here that interpreting services are provided by law. My wife has been involved in the deaf community and the West Allis community for a long time as well. I think it's important for this committee and the members to know that 2 weeks ago I attended. It was a wonderful accommodation that I was provided with interpreters for this meeting to be able to successfully participate. And then today, the interpreters were ordered to sit in a specific area without consulting what might be the best accommodation. Just as someone with a physical disability who uses a wheelchair might need an accommodation, I need an accommodation as well. And I should be able to have input on what my needs are and what best accommodation fits my needs. There was a new policy created since my attendance. There is an Americans with Disabilities Act law that requires the provision of accommodations in public settings. And the policy does not follow what the ADA says. I feel like this is another example of oppression within the deaf community, those people with disabilities not having equal access, and we need to work together as a community to engage all community members, and we need to improve that for the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody else wish to address the council under citizen participation this evening?
My name is Nicole Schrader, 25.
Can you turn your microphone back towards you, please? Thank you.
Is that better?
Much better.
My name is Nicole Schrader, 2536 South 76th Street, West Allis, Wisconsin. This is pertaining to a bar that Wanted to be started in 2021. They wanted to name it the G Spot at that time, and now they have a second party that they want to lease the bar to and call it the Silly Goose. The bar is 7534 West Beloit Road. So I'm here to pretty much talk about some bullet points on how we still do not want a bar in our residential neighborhood. Everybody likes how quiet it's been since there has not been a bar opened there. The majority of the residents in our neighborhood are working people that have jobs and children, so we like it peaceful, quiet. We don't like cars running up and down the alley going 50 miles an hour, throwing away beer bottles at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, littering, people urinating on cars, racing on Beloit Road. There were accidents, there were lots of fights. The noise, there hasn't been any littering. And let's see. When there was talk about starting the bar in 2021, there was an agreement with the new owners that purchased the house. The bar has a rental property on top of it, and it has an entrance from both ways coming in Beloit Road and goes through the alley. And we were talking about blocking off the alley so people that would visit the bar wouldn't have the opportunity to fly through the alley, which that has not still been addressed. It's still wide open, and everybody can get straight through the alley, out to Beloit Road through the bar entrance, and back through the opposite way. So that still has not been closed off. We had 52 signatures last year of people that did not want the bar, so I'm not quite understanding why the owners think going through a second party we would still want in our residential area another bar. There's plenty of bars in West Dallas. I guess we do not need or want another bar. Everybody's been pretty supportive and showing up tonight for not having the bar. There was a dentistry put in there, and then right next to the dentistry is the bar, and then there, I want to say it's a curtain place right next to it, if I'm not mistaken. There's no room. There's no parking. The design is bad, and it's all residential areas there. I don't understand why it needs to be a bar. Why can't it be an ice cream shop or a candy shop or a craft store or something along the lines of a restaurant? I don't understand the purpose of a bar right there. There's lots of kids. The park's literally down the road from there. I mean, it would bring more, I think, money and revenue for opening like an ice cream shop or a candy shop or a craft store, something to get our kids involved in. I mean, what do we need another bar for when there's 6 or 7 bars just in that area? We really like our neighborhood the way it's been since there hasn't been a bar. It's been a lot more peaceful there. And we're just worried for our children that play in the alley, especially with having that wide open for the cars to shoot down there, going 50 to 60 miles an hour, which was witnessed. Plus, I think the last bar owner that had it open, the people weren't leaving the bar until 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and there was a lot of drugs coming in and out of there as well. So I'm just speaking on behalf of most of the people that showed up tonight. We would not like a bar opened there. We are suggestible to anything else other than a bar, restaurant, like I mentioned, anything else, or maybe turning the bar into a complete rental property because...
So you know you've got 30 seconds left.
I know.
Okay, thank you.
Or turning it all into a rental property, if that's what they're looking for. That's all I came to say.
All right. Thank you very much. Does anybody else wish to address the council under public participation?
Good evening. My name is Isaac Hernandez. I live at 2518 South 76th Street, and I'm following up with the issue of the bar. Or you've heard this before, and I'll say it again. There's plenty of bars out there, and our neighborhood is a residential neighborhood that, since the last time, we even had more young families move in with kids, little ones. I got 2 granddaughters that are little. They ride up and down that alley with bicycles. And frankly speaking, I don't know about you guys, and probably all the fathers, maybe grandfathers. I'm a grandfather, and I don't want to see any children, let alone my grandchildren, get exposed to indecent exposure, speeding. Just the other day, without the bar being there, the street light on 76 and Arthur, somebody ran it over and kept going. Thank the city of West Allis for acting quickly. They put a new street lamp up there. I lost a tree in front of my house. Since then, thanks city of West Allis, they replanted a new tree right in front of my house. 2 or 3 in the morning, I had to get up. Police and everybody was there. A van flipped over. Police officer came up to me and whispered and said, right now, preliminary speaking, the man is drunk. So this is the stuff. I mean, I know you guys don't want that in your neighborhoods. I know that for a fact. If you do, be my guest and welcome a bar in your neighborhood. But I know you're not going to do that because you don't want that. You have families. We're all family members here. This is an issue that's a thorn on our side. We went through that already. It didn't work. But it was very, very at the point where tempers flaring and come on now. I'm appealing to your sense of humanness. Do I need to say more? Please vote this down one more time. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Hernandez. Anybody else wish to address the council under public participation?
Mayor, Common Council, my name is Brian Marg. I live at 2635 South 75th Street. This proposed bar that they're talking about, my backyard is a direct view to the front door of the old Sir Gregory's. My neighbor Chip is with me also. His backyard, his front door faces the old Sir Gregory's. Having lived in this neighborhood for over 30 years, we have witnessed and experienced what the bar crowd has brought to our neighborhood before. Again, the cars lined up and down Beloit Road, some trying to park in our alley, cars squealing their tires at 2 a.m., speeding away with disregard, the noise, the fights, people screaming at each other with obscenities. What's next? Gunshots? In my neighborhood? Men and women urinating outside the bar, by the dentist's office, urinating in our alley. People coming through the access alley through my backyard at 11, 12, 1, 2 a.m., stumbling drunk saying, "Oh, I just live over there," on my property. Do you want this in your backyard? We don't need another bar on Beloit Road. Not in our neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I just have, for point of reference, everybody who is here to speak or to be opposed to this, just to raise your hands? Okay, thank you.
My name is Chip Wagner. I'm at 7535 West Beloit Road. I live directly across from the old Sir Gregory's Pub. And what Brian stated is correct. We have got noise issues when that bar is in operation. When it was Sir Greg's, there were problems. When it was One More, there were problems. It's a matter of people coming in all hours of the day, people working in the neighborhood. We need our sleep, we need our rest, and we don't want to be bothered with the noise that that bar is going to create at any hour of the day. What I experienced at 2:30 in the morning, the bartenders would take bins of bottles and dump them in the dumpsters, creating a lot of noise and racket. That noise funnels again directly across the street. There's nothing to stop the noise from the bar. The bar door was constantly open. The jukebox, a lot of police calls for noise ordinance violations after 10 p.m. People outside smoking, people outside urinating, just a lot of disrespect for the neighborhood. And after hours, loitering outside the bar in the area between the dentist office and the bar. It's a paved area that the current owners are currently driving up on, but there's no approach to it, so they shouldn't be going up over that curb. Then we have the issue of parking. There is no parking. They're going to proposing, I guess, a garage to block the alley off, from what I understand. So that's going to take away from the parking lot on the east side of the building. So now we have more cars parking on the street. That street and 76th Street are busy enough without adding traffic, a bunch of people who have been drinking alcohol, adding them into the mix. We don't need that. We've already had accidents up in that area on 76 and Beloit. We've had somebody got hit by a car at 75th in Beloit, I think, during the last days of the One More bar, and was unconscious in a coma up in the hospital for several weeks. We just don't need that. And again, like Brian said, there are a lot of people that'll come in, they'll dump stuff out of the cars, they litter, they loiter, they're cutting through people's yards. It's just a lot of disrespect for the neighborhood. This is a residential neighborhood at the end of the day. The people don't want it, and I hope the Common Council and the licensing committee will respect our wishes as residents in that neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kelly Marg, and I live at 2635 South 75th Street. We've been homeowners in the neighborhood for over 30 years. As was mentioned earlier, part of the vision planning for West Allis is preserving our community and culture. It's rather ironic that we are here this evening discussing the proposal of a bar in our neighborhood. Allowing this bar would be contrary to that vision. West Allis does not need another bar, and certainly not in our backyard. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to address the council under public participation?
Good evening. I'm Anthony Coombe. I live at 7506 West Beloit Road in West Allis. In regards to the bar, I actually live right on Beloit Road, and since I've moved back from Arizona 2 years ago, I've probably seen about 85 people pulled over for DUIs currently. I don't necessarily think the bar would help that at all. And I've had the opportunity to speak with a few police officers in the area that also agree that since that bar had closed originally, it's been a better area, community, less crime, but you still get the DUIs from further in West Allis. But I don't think anybody's actually congratulated you all on the level of bars that I've seen closed since I've returned to West Allis, which I think is better for the community in general. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody else wish to address the council under public participation this evening? All right, seeing none, we will close public participation. We will go to the top of page 2. Item F, our standing committees will be meeting during recess. If you are here for an agenda item like a license or something, please take a look at the room numbers. There is a change because of being set up for the election. Room 128, which is the room down the hall when you first walk in, it would be on your right, is not accessible. So the Public Safety and the Public Works Committee will be meeting in the council chambers, and the Administration Committee and the Economic Development Committee will be meeting in the Art Gallery downstairs. For the mayor's report, we have some ceremonial things. I will do these one at a time. As a lot of you probably know, we are recognizing the careers of 3 of our Common Council members this evening: Alderman Reinke, Alderman Lysick, and Alderman Vitale. And if we could start with Alderman Lysick. You want to come up? We have proclamations, and we have a lot of stuff. For starters, I just want to thank State Representative Robin Vining for the citation from the state of Wisconsin of commendation. We also have a proclamation from the city, which I will quickly read. Whereas after 44 years as alderperson of the 4th District, Thomas Lysick will complete his aldermanic service to the city of West Allis on April 15th, 2024. And whereas Thomas served as a member of the city's administration and block grant committees, presided over the Common Council, and chaired the Economic Development Committee. And whereas his excellent communication skills, Thomas was a positive and powerful voice for residents of the 4th District and the city as a whole. He led with detail-oriented, strategic, and calming disposition. He utilized his strong voice and clear vision for economic development growth and revitalization of the city of West Allis. He championed the importance of attracting new developments that would benefit residents in fiscally responsible and efficient ways. Whereas believing in a hands-on work ethic, Thomas addressed constituent issues by visiting the sites and neighborhoods himself before calling on various departments to solve issues. He was a strong advocate for his residents and was steadfast in protecting the interests of his elderly residents. And whereas throughout his time on the city's Common Council, Thomas has been instrumental in implementing policies that assisted businesses with outdoor dining, improving processes for licensing, supporting the construction of the new public works facility, advocating for new developments, and supporting community building events, all changes that improve the way West Allis appears and functions. Whereas Thomas reliably managed conflict within the council with his pragmatic and composed demeanor, he was a forward thinker with a wealth of knowledge about the city. And whereas Thomas served as a thoughtful, decisive, and even-keeled leader who provided the highest caliber of professional services to his community and to the city of West Allis, therefore may it be known that I, Dan Devine, Mayor of the city of West Allis, state of Wisconsin, do hereby designate April 15th, 2024 as a day of recognition of Thomas Lysick in West Allis, and be it further proclaimed that all citizens of West Allis join me in recognizing Thomas's accomplishments, dedication, and contribution to the city of West Allis, and join me in extending him our best wishes for his next life adventure. Thomas got drive, so we have Lysick drive. Want to say a few words?
Thank you for your kind words, Mayor. It's been a pleasure and an honor serving the community. I appreciate the support of the people in the 4th District for allowing me to serve them for 44 years. And I am going to miss the interaction with people, and I want to thank you very much for your cooperation and support over the years. Thank you.
We also have a little memento for you. I don't know if you want to take this all at once or how you want to do this. You're going to have your hands full.
Yeah, that's right.
Just pick this up later?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. If Alderperson Reinke can get past all of Alderman Lysick's stuff, then we'll ask her to come up. And again, we have a citation of commendation from the state. State Rep Vining was unable to attend tonight. She had a family conflict. Alderperson Ranky. Okay. Hey, let's do this. You ready?
No.
After 32 years as alderperson of the 5th District, Rosalie Ranky will complete her aldermanic service to the city on April 15th, 2024. Whereas Rosalie proudly served as chair of the Board of Health Committee, vice chair of the Public Safety Committee, and a member of the Public Works Committee, and during her career as 5th District alderperson, Rosalie dedicated much of her time to shining a bright light on and continually bettering the city of West Allis. Whereas in her nearly 28 years as chairperson for the Board of Health, Rosalie championed many public health-oriented policies and initiatives for the city, such as supporting the senior center, addressing conversion therapy and health equity, developing the original e-cigarette policy, assuring the health department continues to be in a position to lead the city for public health services and programs for all ages, and protecting the city from businesses that can harm the health of residents like vaping, alcohol, and smoke shops. Whereas, believing in the power of informed decision-making, Rosalie committed to learning what she could of her district to make well-researched and fair policies and agendas. Whereas, in addition to her passion for public health, her time on the council will be remembered for her passion for the Celebrations Committee, where she advocated for the best parades, fireworks, and celebrations in the city because she recognized the role these events play in building a strong, connected community. And whereas Rosalie has served as a dedicated, passionate, compassionate, and informed leader to and for the city and its residents for many years, making it a safer, more welcoming and exciting place to live, work, and visit. Therefore, be it known that I, Dan Devine, Mayor of the City of West Allis, State of Wisconsin, do hereby designate April 15th, 2024 as a day of recognition for Rosalie Ranky in West Allis. And be it further proclaimed that all citizens of West Allis join me in recognizing her accomplishments, dedication, and contributions to the City of West Allis, and join me in extending her our best wishes for her next life adventure.
Thank you. I'd like to express my gratitude to each and every one of you for your support and trust in me. I'm the second woman to serve on the council. Many, many years, obviously, 32 years. I was the only woman, and it's been an honor and privilege to serve the people of the 5th District and West Allis. I have enjoyed every year, and I look forward now to my retirement. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do, but I'm sure there's somebody out there that can use my help. Volunteer work will be prime, and I wish to thank all of you for my many years of serving you.
There we go.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
Ranky Place. Because you definitely established your place on this council. Oh, we have to smile.
Okay. Oh.
Good? And we have a little token for you, too. We can get that to you afterwards.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
You want to take all this?
Yeah.
All right. It's not light. Alderman Vitale, come on up. You want to sit?
No, I can sit.
You sure? I'll read fast.
Well, he's going to be behind me.
Okay. So whereas after 36 years as alderperson of the 1st District, Vince Vitale will complete his service to the City of West Allis on April 15th, 2024. Vince served passionately as a member of the city's administration, block grant, and economic development committees, and during his career as 1st District alderperson, person, Vince worked tirelessly and selflessly as a strong advocate for the residents of his district. Always willing to listen to them and help them with their concerns, his ability to listen to everyone allowed him to provide a unique perspective to the Common Council. Whereas Vincent was a champion for promoting industrial and economic growth throughout the city, including supporting the redevelopment efforts of Summit Place, 6 Points Farmers Market, securing financing for Liberty Heights Wading Pool, and supporting park renovations for Roosevelt and Burnham Parks. Whereas throughout his time on the City Council, Vincent was instrumental in implementing and a strong advocate for the exterior property maintenance program. In 2001, his district was the only district to approve the program, but once it was successful, the additional members implemented it a few years later. The program is still in place today, bettering the city of West Allis for all. Whereas a longtime resident of the city, Vincent displays a strong commitment to neighborhoods, residents, and businesses. He has served as a charismatic, community-minded, supportive, engaging leader, in touch with the needs of his constituents. He's really got a good sense of humor, too. Whereas Vincent has graciously dedicated his time to West Allis for many decades and has served with distinction, and through his skills and commitment has made the city a more developed, advanced, and enriching place to live, work, and visit. Therefore, may it be known that I, Dan Devine, Mayor of the City of West Allis, State of Wisconsin, hereby designate April 15th, 2024 as a day of recognition for Vincent Vitale in West Allis, and be it further proclaimed that all citizens of West Allis join me in recognizing Vincent's accomplishments, dedication, and contributions to the city, and join me in extending him our best wishes for his next life adventure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vince.
Mr. Mayor, first I'd like to thank you for the proclamation presentation. I feel delighted to serve my district for 36 years. And the bottom line is, I did love the people. I love the job until tonight. You know, I was being dedicated. It's not hard for me. I mean, it's not easy for me to depart, but that's time to do it for me, you know. So I did appreciate the years that I served my district and West Allis just as well. I mean, we always had, like I said early, we had good people representing West Allis, you know, from many level of within our structure. So I'm very happy with that, and so I live in peace of mind that we'll be successful. The 2045 projects, you know, that we're looking ahead, I think that's the best solution for the city. We don't want to sit stagnant. So I hope for the next people, you know, the council. I mean, we'll keep moving on and make West Allis what it should be. Thank you.
No, people that have seen Vince in council meetings knows that he loves to hold court.
I know.
So we have Vitale Court.
I can put that by my house.
Thanks, Alderman Vitale. Do you want to take this back or just get it later?
Yeah, they're over there. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you to the three of you. Congratulations. Thank you for everything that you've done. I can't say that enough. One last piece on the mayor's report. I just want to remind everybody or announce that on Thursday the 21st, there is going to be an aldermanic candidate forum in this room for the aldermanic seats. It will be at 6 o'clock, and it is expected to go until 8:30, and that is on the 21st Thursday. That does conclude the mayor's reports. Do we have any alderperson's reports?
Mayor Devine.
Alderperson Keene.
Just want to remind everyone that April 2nd is voting day, so please make your voices heard. Go out and vote. Yeah, for us. But just make sure to have your voice heard regardless of who it's for. you know, people, it takes a lot to do this job. Some have done it for a very long time and have done it very well. So there will be, you know, turnover in the new Common Council, but just make sure to spend a little bit of time to have your voice heard.
Thank you. Any other alderpersons' reports? Alderman Stefanski?
Don't have a report, but I just want to let everybody know, all of you who are here for the bar, it will not be in here, the discussion. So if you want to watch the discussion, you can't participate in it, but if you want to watch the discussion, it'll be in the art gallery downstairs.
Thank you. Any other alderpersons' reports?
Mayor Devine.
Alderman Lysick.
I move for approval of the minutes of March 5th, 2024 Common Council.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Were there any corrections or adjustments to the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. The minutes are approved. Standing committee reports, we have 2 items under item J.
We'll report those out after recess.
Thank you. Then we'll go to item K. Alderman Lysick.
Mayor Devine, unless there's any item that a council member would like to have acted upon separately, I would move for approval of the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, I will ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Vitale.
Aye.
Grisham. Aye. Haas.
Aye.
Keen. Aye. Lysick.
Aye.
Reinke.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Stefanski.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
9 in favor, 0 opposed.
Motion carries.
Mayor Devine.
Alderman Lysick.
I move that we stand in recess until conclusion of the committee meetings.
We have a motion. We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are in recess.